Help support our coverage with PureVPN, the fast, secure way to protect your connection at home or on the go. Get exclusive savings now at techpodcast.com/PureVPN.
And wow, there we go.
Here we go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, you too.
Marlo.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And you are?
Giuseppe Carapellese, the CEO at MLR.
Very nice. Very nice. And well, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, we have developed a new ecosystem that certifies digital content, photos and video. Nowadays we have seen how difficult it is to distinguish what is true from what is fake, how AI it's easy to use and it's able to create content that seems absolutely real. It's so easy that, for example, a few weeks ago in France, there was a video where it seems that President Macron was just changing the government and it was absolutely fake, but it goes on the national television. So what we do is just enable everyone with the smartphone to become a potential reporter that can document everything happening around them with our system that certify this content. We are talking about common people, professional freelance reporter, institution and NGO that want to certify this content in order to reestablish trust and also have new opportunities because this content are directly provided with media agency, journalists, television, in order to acquire directly content from the place in which they are taken with a certification that not only guarantee that they are authentic and without manipulation, but also it's able to track them. And so if anyone in the future will apply any kind of manipulation over them, the system will detect them and tell the final user, look, has been applied this kind of manipulation. For example, they've changed the voice, they've changed the sense of what has been said, or they have just applied a deep fake in order to change the face, something similar. So what we do is two things. First of all, to reconnect also local community, underrepresented community, and in general, all the places, considering that when an event is happening, usually it's unpredictable. When we have a breaking news, it's unpredictable. We don't know where and when it will be happen. For example, we receive hundreds of messages by our user during the war in Ukraine or zone in which there are earthquake that was just telling us thank you. Thank you because you give us the possibility to tell everyone what is happening here and also earning some money selling this content. They receive something that it's not sufficient to recover what they have lost, but it's a good and positive signal to say, look, there is somebody that it's helping you and also giving you a voice, showing what is happening on your place. Giving also to small towns the same visibility that could have a big town, a big city about events. So that is the first point. And the second point, in addition to reconnect also this person, is also to reestablish trust in the information sector. The Reuters Institute said that in Europe, for example, more than 60% of people don't know how to distinguish true from fake contents, true from fake news. So reconnect them, being them part of the process could be really a first point to start again to believe in information. At the end, the information is one of the most important indicator of freedom and democracy, and just giving everyone the possibility to contribute to this sector.
So I'm going to put you on the spot for a little bit here. This is such an important topic right now. I mean, it could, I would say, easily within the top three of the challenges that we have going on in our world right now is the believability of what you see and hear, right? So what do you think the percentage of, and maybe you know, what do you think, like on Facebook, what's the percentage of stuff that we're seeing that is true versus what is not true?
Okay, it's a really good question. In my opinion, the most important point is to understand that Facebook and in general social network are social channel. They are not information channel. We can drive information through them, but not everything over them is information.
Right.
So in my opinion, the first important point is just a cultural change about how they work. Social network is a social channel. We should understand that it's a way to communicate communicate between us.
Yep.
And until we don't understand that, the level of fake information over them will be higher and higher.
And I think, and you make a very important distinctive point right there. The challenge, though, is that even news outlets nowadays use social media to push content out, right? Because they know that's where the people are, so that's why they're pushing stuff through there. So as a result, that has become a way for us, the public, to receive our news. And I mean, I will say I'm not a huge fan of TikTok. I'm still trying to figure it out, quite frankly. But I consume more and more of it all the time. I'm fascinated by the platform, and I know that all the other platforms are trying to catch up to what TikTok has done. So these little, you know what TikTok is, but anyway, and I just there's so much on TikTok that if I just dive into it, I mean, I'm like, oh my goodness, that cannot be real. And then I check into it, and of course it's not real, And then the other thing that I've noticed is timestamps. Have you noticed this too, where there's an earthquake? We'll just pick on an earthquake. I see videos on TikTok about an earthquake, and they have yesterday's time on it. But when you dig into it, it's footage from 8 and 10 years ago. And this is really starting to become as much of an issue as AI-generated content.
Absolutely, absolutely. When we are talking about the fake content, usually people think about manipulation, so that somebody has changed the content. But when we are talking about manipulation, we are talking everything about the content, also metadata, such as the position and the time. We can have a real image, but taken in a wrong time or in a wrong place, and we are using it just to drive a fake news.
Right.
So it's important to have a comprehensive check. For that reason, for example, when we talk about certification, we are not only talking about we ensure that the content is unmanipulated, so there isn't AI manipulation, etc. We are also talking about all the metadata that drive again, that work again, work around the content, because they are the fundamental part. When we talk about the content, we are talking about the three elements: where, when, and the content. Without these three elements, we cannot guarantee that what we are seeing it's real or not. For that reason, we always say that our platform is like a window of a specific place in a specific moment. So the platform, the system gives us the possibility to understand what happened in that specific moment and in that specific place, like a window. So we can turn this powerful tool that we have, all of us in our pocket, just in a new window. And being billion of devices give us an idea about what is happening. And about what you were talking before about TikTok, etc. They are just communication channel. So I understand that there be somebody that it's more comfortable with Facebook, or other with Instagram, or other one with TikTok. It's not important the channel that we use. It's important what we drive in it. In my opinion, it's really important that media agency and company in general understand that they should use this channel because they are trustable company, and they should adapt also their content to this kind of communication. Obviously, for a younger, it's absolutely impossible to have the time to read the newspaper and understand the news as our grandfather did in the past. For them, it's absolutely necessary to have a short video that can resume in a few seconds what happened there. But this is the work of journalists and media agency. Then there is the necessity to help them with the fundamental elements. So content, it's impossible in 2026 to provide the news without a photo or a video. So that is, in our opinion, the point, the difference between a communication channel and information. Obviously, all the information media company should use the new communication channel also to match with the new generation. But then they need also tools that can help them to reach the news in a good time, so when we are talking about unpredictable event, in a faster way possible, but also in a trustable way possible. So this is the match that we would like to reach. Other solutions that try to track fake content or manipulated content, we think that they won't really work for three important reasons. They need many resources about energy, time, and money. Secondly, they cannot guarantee 100% if a content is true or fake and when and where it has been taken. And third, they are just helping who develop technology about deepfake AI. At the beginning, deepfake present, I don't know, 6 finger. They fix it. Then they discovered that there was a bright in the eyes. They fix it. So we are just putting $million and $billion just to help this technology to be better and better. And we will arrive at a point in which we won't be able to distinguish it.
Well, unfortunately, we're running up against the clock here. You and I could talk about this for a long time, and I'm going to probably invite you to my radio show sometime so we can, because this is a fascinating topic. But how do we find out more information about your certification process?
Okay, of course. You can find our mobile application on the App Store and Google Play Store. Its name is WUVDE with W and Y. And our company is MLR. You can find it on Google, and it's the acronym of My Live Report.
All right. All right. I appreciate it. Fascinating topic. Thank you.
It was absolutely a pleasure.
Take care of yourself.
The Tech Podcast Network's CES 2026 coverage is executive produced by Adam Barker. Technical director is Ravin Ford. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Brandy Jackson, and Beth Price. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Bain, Scott Ertz, and Serge Velasquez. Graphic design by Vicky Gonzalez. Executive producer emeritus Todd Cochran. Award production is provided by Amrock Fab Lab. Studio equipment is provided by PLUGHITZ Productions. This has been a Tech Podcast Network production, copyright 2026.